It's your name.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, am I on right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good evening, everybody. We just completed day 2 of our exciting and wonderful transnational experience in the area of leadership development, especially as it relates to racial equity. And today we had just a powerful experience visiting Soweto, and there, visited Vilakazi Street, which is a world famous street because 2 Nobel laureates called that street home. That is Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu. And so we had the opportunity to visit their home where Nelson and Winnie Mandela lived with their children, and where, in this case, Winnie Mandela lived most of the time as Nelson Mandela was imprisoned. Just a very, very powerful experience, related to how their family was impacted, by the system of apartheid, which was very oppressive on the one hand, but also very repressive to the family, the Mandela family. So it was just a powerful experience, and so glad that our youth leaders, were able to experience this and see the sacrifices that this family made. It was not just Nelson Mandela, being a leader, but also, how it affected his wife, and of course how it affected his children, around just the whole, work of freedom in South Africa. And we really believe that this will enable us as a team to continue to grow in our understanding around racial equity. And this equity piece is a very, very important and essential piece to understand in the work that we seek to do through Sanctuary of Hope, as well as with our leadership. That's why this is about leadership development, because we really want to invite our leaders to understand that, our work, for freedom, our work for upliftment, our work for development is not just about inclusivity, nor is it just about equality. It is about equity, because it brings together how, for us, racial equity helps us to see, the challenges that we are facing as African Americans on the one hand, which is not just about social equity, but it is about racial equity, because how it is connected to the impact that racial capitalism, continue to have on the lives of these young people, as well as their families, as we seek to do this very, very important work. So equity is really inviting us to go deeper in understanding the institutional and the systemic ways that discrimination in general, but particularly, racism, has impacted, our lives. And so yes, we want to be, inclusive and make sure everybody is, in the room. We want to be about equality, where we want to make sure that everybody's not just in the room, but they're also at the table. But equity invites us to really get to know and understand how we are not just in the room, how we are not just at the table, but how do we come together and work extremely hard to make sure that we determine the agenda of what needs to happen, around upliftment and around development, of our young people, of our communities, etc., etc. So it really brings in, the economic aspect. It brings in, the importance of what it means to come together and work together around transforming systems and schemes that continue to exploit, exclude, and therefore in so many ways engage in ways that marginalize people. So it is for us about equity, because it is about going deeper and see how we can be proactive in analyzing and understanding root causes, and through that, see how we can then come together and work together towards some, long-term sustainable and transformative solutions around what is affecting us, racially, and because of that, how does that affect us economically as well. And that's why we're doing this in South Africa, because South Africa, on the one hand, is a country that has been enveloped in a racialized, form of nation building on the one hand. On the other hand, it had to grapple with, the racial capitalistic society or system that then supported, that racialized, nation building. So apartheid was not just about race. Apartheid was also about economics, and we understand that in the United States, the resiliency we seek to build in and through our young people is not just around them understanding, their identity of who they are, as African Americans, but also understanding, how all of that is connected, with the economic viability, that our young people are dealing with. So it is, a transnational comparative experience that we seek to invite them into, build them, in, and to see how they can provide, the necessary leadership to move us, towards ongoing inclusivity, equality, but most of all, the equity piece around it. So it's very, very exciting. It's a learning experience, and we're looking forward to see how we can implement that with our young people as we do the work that we've been called to do, in Los Angeles in general, but in particular in South Los Angeles.